Really? That's where they draw the line? Generic control in the Doc Goes Moo. We're back with another nostalgic video. Today we're doing the Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring, which I believe he's doing Lord of the Rings month right now. So let's go ahead and jump into the first video that he did for this month. Let's get into it.
This episode
also, last week's video was Norm of...
a brand new adventure from Gameloft. Also brought to you
thought
by
that was a
HelloFresh. Delicious pre-measured
adult
ingredients and
entertainment
simple
person.
chef-made recipes delivered to your
That's an old
doorstep
joke. It's not even a joke. I seriously thought that. Also, the Macarena was a Jewish holiday.
4th through 6 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Not going to Wisconsin.
Check us out at C2E2 April 11th to the 13th in Chicago, Illinois.
That's almost worse than Wisconsin. I have seen the Lord of the Rings movies. It's been a long time. It's been almost 9 years since I watched them. I preferred The Hobbit over
Characters of
the Lord
a
of the Rings?
C- internet review show. You have been summoned here.
But yeah, they
to
made
answer the
2
question
sequels,
how
The
to
Norm of the
review
North.
What has been reviewed
3
a
of them.
million times over.
I'm Jim. Hi, Jim.
Bring forth the ring. Dope.
Righto!
Okay.
Why did I give that to you anyway?
My name is the closest to Frodo.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
One does not.
That's a pretty sick
view
DVD.
the Lord of the Rings movies.
Or make that gesture with your hand.
Hopefully
because
there's
he
no
didn't do
copyright
that when he
issues.
delivered the line in the movie.
There are years of people dissecting every little moment, every little detail, every single letter not in the book.
But Rings of Power made some changes, and that won everybody over. That didn't win everybody over, did it?
As much as the Gollum game.
He's right.
Oh, the
We
Gollum
cannot
game was so
review-
bad.
You have only one choice.
Wait, why was the camera tracking in on me like that?
We shot like 80 hours of footage. Feel lucky that our lines are even in order.
Agreed.
Oh.
Sometimes we basically edit to the same shot. See?
We have to
Oh.
figure out how to review this in a unique way.
What about
What-
satirizing the movie? Nobody's ever done that.
what?
Do you
What is-
watch anything?
Nope.
How about a clipless review?
Yeah, that'll work out great with Mr. Chronic Fatigue over here.
What?
Almond milk.
We can't have just a straightforward review. We need to do something unique.
And I suppose you think you're the one to do it!
I'm out of coffee, and that makes me angry.
In the last shot, I was
huh?
standing, so why am I standing again?
Yeah, why are you sitting down? The ring. She can put it on her hand.
I'll do it.
Do what? Also, why is there liquid in there?
No, absolutely not.
That's stupid.
Sit down, you embarrassment.
Ooh,
Oh.
my mother's last words to me.
Oh.
Look, everyone's done a parody and satire of the Lord of the Rings, including us.
Yeah, maybe
yeah.
just talking straightforward about it makes the most sense.
Yeah, but it's gonna be tricky.
How so?
I know in many films and franchises people overuse the phrase "there was never anything like
Also,
it." but
Elijah
really,
Wood.
there never was anything
He was
like Lord of the Rings.
Delta in Red vs. Blue,
It's been
right?
adapted before, but never in a way that left a cultural impact. In fact, for years, fans thought it couldn't be adapted. It was just too big.
Well, we got the animated
Peter
one.
Jackson had a plan
that-
to convince New Line Cinema to take a big gamble, allow him to shoot 2 films at the same time, condensing the
Really?
Lord of the Rings trilogy. When one of the producers said, "Wait, aren't there 3 books? Shouldn't we make it 3?" Jackson shrugged and said, "Well, if you gotta." He must have begged to
Did all the
negotiate,
filming
because
at
not
one-
only did he get an unbelievable budget and honestly a fair amount of creative control.
It was worth it.
He convinced New Line that the director of this was the perfect choice. I can't imagine planning all 3 of these films and having them be as good and popular as they are.
I mean, they're good.
It took
They're all
something
good.
that was celebrated mainly in just geek culture and book clubs and turned it into a worldwide phenomenon. Before these movies, the average person didn't know what a hobbit was.
That's
even
true.
with the musical stylings of Leonard Nimoy.
I mean, these movies are old.
With that said, yes, this needed to connect with as many
Jeff
people
Gollum.
as possible given the budget and that there were going to be 2 more of them. So there are things that most fans acknowledge are needed to win over the average person.
But yeah, no, we literally
who
did
would
the
know is
Ralph
best.
Bakshi movie a couple weeks ago, months ago.
And it's gonna
Also,
be
alternate
difficult
channel.
to
Shout out to
sum up why
that.
These incredibly long films made such a huge
Hey, it's
impact.
Ned
but
Stark.
We have a whole decade to it, so we're gonna give it a try.
With Sean Bean.
And because there's so much movie to discuss, the best way to go about it is to just discuss it.
Wait, then why did we do a parody sketch in the opening?
Well, this isn't a sketch. This is just us talking.
No, we're clearly all
Not a
characters.
sketch.
I'm not a character.
Jim is just. Oh, okay. Well, I think Jim's a character.
Let's talk about the first and shortest film of the bunch. At 3 hours, let's take a look at Fellowship of the Ring.
How long are the other ones?
The film opens in a magical land called Middle-earth, where we get the backstory about the forging of powerful rings.
Yeah, I
One of them
don't think
made
I
by an
followed
evil villain
it
named
too
Sauron.
well along.
Dark Lord Sauron forged in secret a master ring.
And yeah, I know I've said it before and I'll say it again, I don't like Sauron's design. I like you never see his face or hear him talk, and being covered in metal is on brand for these
Very
villains.
sharp metal.
But I'm sorry, this is supposed to be the Great Deceiver, the ultimate
Dude, that is a
evil, and he looks
Targaryen.
like a Marvel villain. Not a good one either, he's like that mini-boss in Thor. Even
I've
his
never seen
lizard
that
eye
Thor
going,
movie.
"Nah, nah, 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 nah," just seems laughably over the top. Say what you want about dorky helmet guy in the Bakshi version, but he was literally a shadow, and I think he's scarier as just a shadow. Simply being talked about and using your imagination. I know I'm a minority on that, I just don't find this guy scary. Luckily though, everything else about this intro is pretty badass.
I mean, a magnet can defeat
Showing
him,
an
so.
alliance of men and elves fighting creatures called orcs in Sauron's homeland. Mordor.
God, I miss doing Warhammer videos.
Thank you for coming towards us from that angle, it looked really cool. King Isildur destroys Sauron by chopping off the ring, customized to fit any size, and it's lit from
Wasn't
person
the
to
ring
person
that they
over the
actually used to film like
Something
massive?
happened Then the ring did not intend.
It fell in cow shit. No, it's picked up by a hobbit named Bilbo, played by Ian Holm, who carries it back home to the Shire, and years later his nephew Frodo, played by Elijah Wood, is joining the
It
others
is Elijah
celebrating
Wood, yeah.
Bilbo's birthday with his wizard friend Gandalf, played by Ian McKellen.
Rest in
Which,
peace,
by the way,
by the
might
way.
be the first movie to
Pretty
fulfill
sure.
every internet geek's fan casting.
A wizard is never late. He arrives
He did pass away
precisely when he
like
means
fairly
to.
recently, right?
Are they seeing who can hold a fart the longest? What are we doing? Actually, that would explain their awkward laugh immediately after.
Oh, he's still alive. He's 85.
We're classy here.
Shout out to him.
Gandalf tours
It was,
the Shire filled with small people,
was it Saruman?
pigs and small
That's-
sheep
that
and small
died?
dogs. Yeah, how does this work? And I know, again, I've mentioned this before, but I'm really not the biggest fan of this film's editing. I don't
not?
blame the director. I don't even really blame the editor. Like I said, this was a beast of a production, and they have footage up the wazoo to get across very quickly in a way everybody can comprehend and be
Same
interested
shots.
in. That's a lot to ask of anyone, and mistakes are going to be made. But sometimes
3 hour
fast
long
cuts
movie.
do result in moments that just don't feel right.
Half the Shire's been invited.
Good gracious me.
He's up to something.
Oh wait,
All right,
is
then
it
keep your
is it
secrets.
Dumbledore? Or
That
the
is
same
just
guy?
not a natural back and forth. A lot of fans introduce newcomers to the extended version, and I don't think that's wise either.
Why?
Yeah, it's neat, I'm glad it exists, but a lot of it isn't needed, and I think it drag out too long for first-timers.
How long is the extended version of a
Except for
3 hour long movie?
And even then, not all the way, like up to where they get to Rivendell. Because you're setting up the main characters, and that is gonna take a little more time.
He's up to something.
Also, isn't Elijah
All
Wood
right,
like
then keep
blacklisted?
your secrets.
that
I like
meme.
building up Bilbo's appearance, but the extended version sets up these people a lot better.
Half the Shire's been invited, and the rest of them are turning up anyway.
But
See, doesn't that feel more like how people talk? Even Sam, the guy the movie is literally gonna end on, gets just one moment of him looking at a woman, and then they're like, "You're a main character now, off you go."
oh,
And yet, the extended version doesn't add a ton, but it's just enough to make us connect with them a bit more. I don't know, maybe it's just me.
We don't want any more visitors, well-wishers, or distant relations.
And what about preachers of Jesus?
I want to see mountains
That's
again.
Gandalf the
Mountains,
Grey, right?
Gandalf.
I think most people know there's a lot of practical effects and forced perspective to make the height differences for the hobbits look more convincing, and they're really well done. Though I always thought it was a little weird they spent millions and millions on this and didn't just hire little people. Oh, except for the far-off shots, which kind of makes me question it even more. They're good enough for the far-off shots, but not the close-ups.
oh
They
wow.
want actors who were somewhat well-known, and yeah, these weren't huge stars, but they were known. And there weren't really that many little people stars back then, so it feels a little odd, but it doesn't take away from the great performances all these people give.
Would Peter Dinklage have been in this?
11 years old. You haven't aged.
Have you been drinking Mario Lopez blood? They throw a big party complete with Mary Poppins fireworks.
What?
And
Oh,
speaking of
then-
Mary, two hobbits named Mary and Pippin, played by Dominic Monaghan and Billy Boyd, are causing trouble.
Yeah, getting blown by fireworks isn't fun. Been there, done that. Don't do it.
Let's get another one. We'd like to thank guest director Blake Edwards for shooting that scene.
My dear Bagginses and Buffins. Jumps. Windblowers.
Hey, watch the slurs.
All the hobbits in one place.
Bilbo surprises him by putting on the ring and disappearing, planning to leave the ring with Frodo, yet he finds it has a strange hold on him.
You want it for yourself.
Bilbo Baggins, do not take me for some conjurer of cheap tricks.
As I conjure up
And
this
the wind.
cheap trick.
Literally, the wind
I
starts
remember when
moving.
Ian McKellen was nominated for an Oscar. This was the clip they chose because they clearly had no idea what else to choose. McKellen is perfect, but a Best Actor nod is a little weird. I mean, Sean Bean's performance is right there.
Keep it secret. Keep it safe.
Gandalf thinks there's more to this ring than he first thought, so he ventures out to do some research, leading to one of the cooler shots in the movie. We see a giant tower in Mordor. Holy smokes, that thing is huge. But then, in the same shot, it's shown that's just part of another tower
That's even bigger.
Literally so big you can't see the top of it. That's a clever
Which
reveal.
is cool. Was that Gollum?
The words Shire and Baggins are shouted as Gandalf figures out the One Ring is in fact the Ring of Sauron.
Just stumbled upon that.
Is it secret? Is it safe?
Great callback to that awkward shot you got before. Yeah, I don't know what's up with the weird close-ups in this.
I mean, they did it.
For 60 years, the ring lay quiet in Bilbo's keeping.
Gandalf reveals this is the One Ring to rule them all, and in the wrong hands, Sauron could return.
I don't know. I guess I just like the whole the whole army thing
Sad to say this is another
and the
moment where the
dragons
pacing's
and the
a little
Hobbit.
off.
You know?
In the book, Gandalf disappears for 17 years and very calmly tells Frodo what's going on, allowing more time so we can get to know him as characters. However, in the book, the party also goes on for like a bajillion pages.
Me, the one time went through
idea of
Quinceañera.
wanting to get the story going and some real urgency here. The
I
issue
stuck
is,
out.
The tone really goes back and forth. Ooh, gotta hide, shit's getting real. You know, some tease sounds nice, there's no rush. Wait, they heard Shire Baggins. I'm Shire Baggins, we gotta move, we gotta go! Oh, Frodo, your first day of school. Let's take a second to really admire this moment. What was that? Get down! It's just a little too back and forth for me.
Confounded old Samwise Gamgee!
Like I mentioned before, Sam was eavesdropping, so Gandalf says he should go with Frodo on his journey.
Yeah, you've been
He says he'll
volunteered.
meet with him at an inn after he consults with the head of his order, Saruman, played by Christopher Lee. And you'll be surprised to discover a guy with this appearance who lives in this place is amazingly a bad guy.
Yeah.
Against the power of
He wasn't always, though, was he?
no victory. You must join with Sauron.
But didn't you say on Charlie Rose I'm never a Sauron guy? I think it's okay. The last guy who was in my spot turned out great.
Oh.
They have themselves a wizard's duel,
I win! I win!
which is pretty cool, even if the scene is a little silly.
Also, why do you need that much space, bro?
Aiding me.
And we cut back to
dude.
Sam and Frodo, who
Wait,
bump into
would that get him a medal at the
Shortcut.
Olympics now that breakdancing the thing?
Shortcut to what? Mushrooms.
I love that stuff. It makes me feel like I'm on a suburban couch just looking at the ceiling. What
Never
a
had
trip.
mushrooms.
The 9 rings made from men have been corrupted by Sauron, though, and are now the Black Riders, who are about as perfectly intimidating as you can get.
Yeah.
Stop.
And don't they, like,
Powerful
scream?
killing machines.
Like the horses
Yeah,
scream.
except when it comes to water. Come on, guys, break the stereotype Black Riders don't swim.
What business brings you to Bree?
We wish to stay at the inn. Our business is our own.
After passing by the director's cameo,
What's up?
Wait, that was the director?
You were the sideshow around
Oh, no,
here?
that was the
they
director.
expect to meet up with Gandalf, but he's not been seen for months. They're approached by a
Months?
ranger named Strider, played by Viggo Mortensen, whose introduction, again, is slightly the victim of odd editing.
Are you frightened?
Yes.
Not nearly frightened enough.
He says the Hobbit should be more scared as something terrible is hunting them. Okay, good night.
Oh, yeah. No problem. Isn't
Now, don't
it-
get me
yeah,
wrong,
Dark
making it
Riders,
look like
yeah.
the Black Riders kill them is a good
Dark
fake.
Riders?
Even
What
if
do
it
they
does
call
come
them?
after one of the funniest shots in
Dark
the movie.
Nighters? Is that what I said?
Like every 20 minutes, it randomly becomes Looney Tunes. But they're shooting it like, ooh, we're supposed to think Strider let them die. We've only known this guy for literally a minute. Why am I supposed to get that reaction?
Where are you taking us?
Into the wild.
Nicking any camera when I find them.
He actually bumped into the camera?
Like many of the characters, though, he does bounce out the more the movie goes on. Even if he does literally abandon them at their most vulnerable moments.
Nice crispy bacon.
Put it out, you fools! Put it out!
Stepping on fire is
we made
nuts.
enough for the 4 of us.
Goodbye.
Puts on the ring, but is stabbed by one of the riders, just as Strider
Oh, yeah,
tries to save him.
yeah, you can like see him.
Ow, my face! My doctor said I'm not supposed to get fire on it!
Frodo is infected by the blade he was stabbed with, but thankfully an elf named Arwen, played by Liv Tyler, is there to help. Sorry, let me turn down my elvish backlighting we all have.
Dude, that glow. I guess being hundreds of years old.
So I don't mind Arwen being given a bigger role here as, A, it is a bit of a sausage fest. I mean, there's more wood here than End Furnish Company. And B, for a character who does have an interesting dilemma in the later films, it just wouldn't have been as engaging if she just greeted them when they got to Rivendell. My only problem is Frodo, the main character, is completely useless. He either needed to step up to the Black Riders at the ruins, the river, or both. And then Strider and or Arwen saves him. All he does here is constantly lose to gravity. He really needed something to do during
When he
at
has
least
massive
one of these
feet.
scenes to get us more invested. Ooh, a battle scar from a tree. She's got badass war wounds.
Hey, don't you think elves would have more scars with as old as they are?
Okay. Hey, Frank, this water stuff ain't so bad.
Yeah, look at that. They can cross it.
Look, there's even
Oh,
worse.
well, never again.
Water sucks.
You suck, Frank.
Oh, dude. Yeah, no, it's,
Did you know Carmen Sandiego is going to be 40 years old? She looks almost as good as when I turned 40.
It's not what I
To
imagined
celebrate
her to
being
be.
around for 40 years, Game
I
Loft
thought
has a
she
new
was
Carmen Sandiego game.
adult entertainment.
This time you get
That's
to play
what I
as
thought
Carmen
she
herself.
was.
You use all sorts of cool
Apparently
gadgets,
it's not
find
true.
clues,
Found
and
that out
locate a jet thief.
on YouTube.
The graphics are stylized and pretty cool to look at.
What video was
And
it
there's
that
such a good
talked
mystery
about
behind
her?
who's pulling the strings behind this caper. But let's say you grew up with
Was
the
it-
original games like
Was
I
it
did.
Nostalgia
Yeah,
Critic? I
something
think
for
it
you
was.
too. You can play the Acme Files, a loving send-up in 2D pixel art that captures the original gameplay that goes back.
I wonder what other things I think are
That
one
game,
thing
though,
but
is
are
pretty
actually
enjoyable,
another.
with a good variety
Like
of gameplay,
Carmen Sandiego,
tracking,
I thought the
gliding,
Macarena was a
stealth mode,
holiday.
Puzzle solving. You even get to swing from building to building. They also have
There
a
has
bunch
to be
of
other
Easter
stuff.
eggs from the original games. It's pretty cool revisiting these and remembering.
But I wouldn't
back
know
to
because
when
I
was
think that they're
younger and
what
just
they are.
wanting to catch the crook and glance past all the educational stuff. And now I find myself really getting into the educational stuff, sometimes even more than capturing the crook. God, I really am over 40. But so is Carmen Sandiego, and you can celebrate that by checking this game out. It's a ton
That
of
was a
fun,
good
very
segue.
imaginative, and like I said, you can learn a lot of cool information. So check out this deal.
Oh, that's Singapore.
Hilarious. Carmen Sandiego is waiting for you on PC, consoles, and Netflix games, including iOS and Android. Whether you want to feel younger, older, or a little bit of both, this is a great game.
Or
to check.
introduce your kids
Click on
to
the link
Carmen
below and
Sandiego,
see
which
all
is
the
probably what they're
additions
trying
of
to
the
do
game
here.
and DLC content you can enjoy today.
Wow, it is literally on everything.
Hey, what's for dinner tonight? A toilet? Nah, it's
Sunlight.
no good. I had that yesterday. I'm gonna have HelloFresh. HelloFresh is not
The
a
double
toilet,
ads.
and that's a
I don't
good
blame
thing.
them.
It's farm
With whatever
fresh,
YouTube's doing
pre-portioned
right now,
ingredients and
and
seasonal
also
recipes delivered right to your
CPMs
doorstep.
are.
Can your toilet do that?
What are
Mine can, but
CPMs
that's
right
not
now?
Important. I should question how and why it does that. But I'm tired of figuring out what's for dinner night after night, especially on those busy weekdays. Get dinner done the easy
nope,
way
that's
thanks
likes.
to HelloFresh. It's easy
I
to
have
find
CPM
time
somewhere.
to eat well with 50
Nope, that's ad
wholesome,
impressions.
hassle-free
That's
meals
revenue.
to choose from each week, delivered to your
Sub
door.
gain,
As someone
sub
who's
loss,
not a good cook, I mean, look at me, I
shares.
eat toilets. I can say HelloFresh
shouldn't do
does
that,
a
it's
great
gross.
job allowing me to cook meals fast and delicious.
That's not
Wait,
CPMs, is it?
Deliciously delicious.
Oh, yeah, that is
It helps me
CPMs.
eat quicker and better.
Yeah.
And guess what, you complete stranger I have no connection with? HelloFresh has a special
Yeah,
offer. Get up to
CPMs
10 free meals
for
and a free
January
high-protein
1st to
item for
February
life at
21st.
HelloFresh.com
In previous years were
HelloFresh podcast.
$4.46 in
Active
2022,
Free meals applied as
$4.14
discount on
2023,
first box.
$4.18
Subscribers only
2024,
varies by
and then
plan. That's up to 10
$3.70
free
this year.
HelloFresh meals. Just go to HelloFresh.com/HelloFresh
It's not good.
podcast. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. What do you have to say about that, toilet? Oh my God, it's alive.
Yeah, meanwhile, the yearly averages 2023 was $4.90, 2024 was $4.56.
Frodo wakes up in Rivendell all healed
And then
up, and with Gandalf as well.
$3.70 so far this year, but it's
Explains
always
how
down.
Ere Deus Ex Machina saved him from Saruman.
Which is how much advertisers pay.
Lord of the Rings.
But you wouldn't know that because you can't see him.
Frodo!
John Cena.
Bless you, you're awake!
Funny note, there was pushback to have Sam grab Frodo's hand because some were concerned it might look a little gay.
Really?
Yeah.
That's where they
That
draw
was
the line?
The scene they
Yeah.
thought might give people that impression.
Welcome to Rivendell.
We're introduced to King Elrond, played by Hugo Weaving, who assembles several Middle-earths.
Shouldn't he be, like,
Middle-earthiest
protecting
looking
the
people to
Tesseract?
decide what is to be done with the One Ring. Boromir, played by Sean Bean, says it should be used to restore order. Gimli, played by John Rhys Davies, tries to destroy it without running it by anyone. And Legolas, played by Orlando Bloom, is beautiful.
What would a ranger know of this matter?
He is Aragorn. You owe him your allegiance.
Like how he owes me my scrunchie. While everyone bickers,
Dude,
Frodo
Legolas
seems
is
tortured yet
awesome.
drawn to the ring. So he says he'll be the one to take it to the only place it can be destroyed, Mount Doom. Wait, nobody knew a guy who lived in a place called Mount Doom was bad? Its name is Doom!
You have my sword, and you have my bow.
And my axe.
Here's my sword. Here's my bow.
Here's my axe. Bye.
Mr. Frodo's not going
What's
anywhere
that a
without
reference
me.
to? Of course
Sam,
not Sam.
Merry and Pippin say they're coming too, and I smell a title drop.
9 companions. You shall be the Fellowship of the Ring.
Nice.
What's the look he gives? Like, yeah, I'm proud of it.
Yeah, he's like, I'm proud of that.
All
Trademark
the
that.
movies do this.
There is only one Lord of the Ring.
You shall be the Fellowship of the Ring.
The union of the two towers.
Authority is not given to you to deny the return of the king.
Which is ironic
Oh,
because
yeah.
Tolkien didn't like splitting it up into 3 books or the titles they were given. Hell, he said Return of the King basically gave away the ending. Where you on that one, spoiler culture?
It's so light, yeah. Made by the elves, you know.
Of course.
While talking
Elves
with
are
Bilbo,
so
who
cool.
lives in Rivendell, he finds he's once again drawn to his old friend.
To hold it again one last time.
Nope. Turns into Gollum.
So yeah, as you may have noticed, there are moments in this trilogy that are a little too over the top. The book keeps it vague, like this could be how Frodo sees him looking similar to Gollum, but the movie does take some scenes a little too literally. I will say though, this is a 3-hour movie, and
Yeah.
scenes like this and Galadriel going raw from Stargate do wake the
Dude,
audience
that freaked
up.
me out. That scene with her
So even though
eyes.
it's a little much, I do understand why it's there. They do their Avengers trailer shot. And make their
Oh
way to
yeah, where they all just go
Sauron
right in the corner,
uses his
or like
magic
in
to
a
block their
circle,
path. They
just
make
looking
their
at
way
them
to
all.
the Mines of Moria,
Yeah.
where Gimli's cousin resides.
Speak, friend, and enter.
What do you suppose that?
If you are a friend, you speak the password and the doors will open.
Walt sent me. QWERTY? 12345. Password. Password
password.
1. Password 12345.
Frodo finally does something and figures out you literally speak the word friend in Elvish to open the door.
Oh.
However,
Wow.
not only do they find everyone inside is dead, but a monster is stopping them from going the other way.
We now
That's normal.
have but one choice.
This Adobe lighting effect. Don't worry, it'll be the last time anyone botches the lighting in these movies.
What?
There's something down there.
It's Gollum.
But it looks like Gollum, a creature whose life was destroyed by the
No.
ring, is following them.
It's a pity Bilbo didn't kill him when he had the chance.
Should have.
It is pity that stayed Bilbo's hand.
Pity was the name of one of the dwarves who tripped and injured Bilbo's killing hand.
Don't like Gollum.
As they venture forth, they discover Gimli's cousin is dead, and yeah, I know I'm repeating myself again and again, but I like the original reaction more of just Gimli tilting his hat over his eyes and walking away. This kind of feels like that cry from the show Intervention.
There's a show called Intervention. Oh, there's a gun called Intervention. Call it the Shy Tack. Shy Tack? Shy Tack.
His chance for revenge comes, though, when the goblins who killed his cousin start rushing.
Goblins?
They have a cave troll. We have a tear.
That's a big boy.
The team battles Shrek's kidney stone. Okay, how did Merry and Pippin not see him there? But they have to battle an even
Yeah,
bigger,
how did they...
a fiery beast called the Balrog.
Was that thing that Thor thought in Ragnarok?
The Balrog looks good, but I will say, I wish they mixed CG with something that was actually there, like a puppet or stop motion or something. He looks just a little too much like a World of Warcraft boss.
Shall not pass!
Thanks, every teacher in high school.
Yeah, I know this.
Defeats the Balrog.
The bell doesn't
The Balrog pulls
dismiss
him
you.
down.
I dismiss you.
They stop the hobbits from helping
Every
him
time.
due to the
Run.
literal nothing shooting at them right now. And Gandalf falls to his death.
Does it say run?
You fools.
Oh, it says fly.
Oh no!
This tears the team apart, but they do manage to make their way to
tear me
Lothlorien, where
apart.
Galadriel, played by Kate Blanchett, is waiting. Our heroes grieve for their fallen hero, if that's what you can call this weird line delivery.
What do they say about him? I have not the heart to tell you. For me, the grief is still too near.
You said that like your Amazon package is coming a day late. While Frodo looks into the fountain that shows things that could come to be.
The Fellowship is breaking. He will try to take the ring. You
I don't think
know
it's true.
of whom I speak.
You need to kill Pippin. The next day, they're on their way where they encounter the most epic toll stop ever constructed.
Didn't they actually like to have those at one point? They don't exist anymore, but like that was a real thing in the real world where...
Let's follow it up with this really dated frame rate effect that looked terrible back then. It looks even worse now.
Works. Makes me feel like my recording software is messing up.
The ironic thing is, for all my complaining there's too much cut out of this, you could completely cut that moment and not miss a thing.
Probably should have.
This movie does get a little drunk on its self-importance. Other times, though, they represent it perfect. I'm really not kidding when I say I'm shocked Ian McKellen got an Oscar nod, but not Sean Bean. He so easily could have been one note, but he really brings out a tortured humanity to this character that is corrupted by the power of the ring, but for a very noble cause to save his people.
To let that fear drive us to destroy what hope we have. I ask only for the strength to defend my people.
For all the bitching the character does, they know how to balance it out with real human
Ned Stark
moments, too. He really does feel like a completely fleshed out character.
He was also in Snowpiercer, the TV show.
Our gods will lead us there, and the Tower Guard shall take up the call. The Lords of Gondor have returned.
The look on his face when he realizes he single-handedly destroyed the Fellowship by trying to take the ring is so heartbreaking.
Frodo.
This was really more of a Faramir move.
Well,
Aragorn
what?
as well sees he's tempted by the ring and fears, because of his family blood, that he'll eventually take it too. So he lets Frodo go alone, just as the Orcai, or Orc Plus, if you will,
Orcs.
He's leaving.
Despite the book ending a little earlier, they do a good job wrapping this all up as the climax.
What were the
Everybody's given
the
a
release
good
date
moment to go
gaps
out
between
on, as well as
the
a decent
movies?
to be continued. With once again Boromir being the most powerful.
Yeah, Sean Bean always dies. Always. It's like in his contract.
I will give a battle that'll be worth a song, even if it's called the feisty little pincushion.
He's so good in Game of
Aragorn
Thrones.
fights off Boromir's killer and says he'll do his
I mean, the
best
first
and not
3
let the
seasons of
kingdom
Game of
fall.
Thrones is just...
God damn, not only is this performance great, but it's one of the few times where the makeup really gives the impression this guy is taking his last
like
breath.
seasons 4 and 5 are still like compared to the end.
Oh my god, Aragorn killed Boromir! Sam is the only one to find Frodo and swears to stand by him, literally risking death in doing so.
I made a promise, Mr. Frodo. Don't you leave him, Samwise Gamgee.
I also don't think it's an accident Sam quotes the promise Gandalf had him make just as Frodo was thinking of his own words of wisdom from him. It shows how dedicated they are not only to each other, but also
dedicated.
to his memory. Their bond is so strong that Aragorn decides to let them go and take what's left of the Fellowship to save Merry and Pippin.
The Fellowship has failed.
Not if we hold true to each other.
Don't
Well, now the ring's not there,
That's
so...
handsome, Orc.
It ends with Sam and Frodo looking over the perilous journey that lies ahead.
AKA New Zealand.
I'm glad you're with me.
You know, Mr. Frodo, what do you say we chuck it in that puddle and tell everyone we traveled all the way? You read my mind, Sam. And that was the Fellowship of the Ring. I have issues like any Tolkien fan is going to, but it's still a pretty damn impressive accomplishment.
I mean, the budget had to be
The
something
problems
crazy.
I have,
Definitely
I do
worth it.
excuse a little more because you could argue it's a proof of concept film. For something this grand and expensive and building up 2 more installments, you needed something
And then the
that
Hobbit
could reach
films.
the majority of people, yet still stay true to what the source material was. And I think this film not only does that, but it does succeed at it. I didn't even have a chance to talk about the stellar cinematography, the combination of practical and CG effects, and the unbelievable music. Every shot is impressive, the scale models look incredible, and just about everything has a musical theme that sounds like something
it's
right out of an
still
epic opera.
rather old, too.
For the little nitpicks I have, it makes up for it in the grand presentation, and, as you probably know, the amazing installments to follow. For Lord of the Rings,
What is the
just
best Lord of the
beginning,
Rings
and
movie?
The best is yet to come. I'm a
Like, what,
nostalgic
out of the
radio.
3, which one is the favorite? What is the fan favorite?
All right, everybody, stop your bickering.
Where'd they go? Why are there 3 fire extinguishers?
Dear Nostalgia Critic, we got bored and did something else. It's
It was a
time to
3-hour-long
realize we
movie.
have a life outside of you.
You literally don't. You were made for the show.
I know you think we
Except
literally
Jim.
don't, as we were made for the show,
Oh.
but that's why we're gonna be in a few Cinema Snob episodes.
Wait, really?
I lost interest.
Stole them. Nice. What?
This month for Cameos for Charity, we're doing the Living Well Cancer Resource Center. I have a personal connection with this one because my cousin is a cancer survivor.
Oh,
and she
and
attributes
that's
a lot of
what
her
that
well-being
is.
to this organization.
Melissa's fighting
Their
cancer
focus
right
is to
now.
help cancer patients and their caregivers learn the vital skills
a
that
longtime
enables
viewer's
them to
fiance.
gain control, reduce isolation, and enhance their quality of life. They've helped so many wonderful people like my cousin, and you can play a big part in helping even more. So if you want a cameo of me saying happy birthday or good luck or whatever, click on the
I've
link
gotten 2
below and be
cameos.
giving to a great
Highly
cause.
recommend them.
If you're like, screw you, your cameos suck, well, consider looking at this wonderful organization anyway. I can vouch they've helped very special people in their time of need. And
That's a
your
big
kindness and
trophy.
Encouragement can fuel
That's
their
a
kindness
big
and
trophy.
encouragement. Check them out.
Wow. That was the first Lord of the Rings movie. I know he's doing the other one as well, because like every single March he does like a movie series franchise. Like you have Norm of the North. We have this video that came out yesterday, which should probably be out next week, I would imagine, which is going to be The Two Towers, which be on the lookout for that. Patrons get all the videos there early. Could not do this if it was not for them. These people right down here, and some others that are not on the screen. Because $3 a month gets you all my reaction videos there early. This channel is not even monetized yet, so I hope that you are subscribed, and I still read our comments. Leave them down below. Let me know do you like The Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit more? I have a feeling most people prefer The Lord of the Rings over The Hobbit. I went into Lord of the Rings having no idea who Tolkien was. So like this is my introduction to really like anything fantasy as well, because like I never seen anything like fantasy world related stuff like this, like geeky stuff, I would imagine, until I watched The Lord of the Rings and Hobbit. I feel like I watched The Hobbit first though, because I think I watched The Hobbit first because The Hobbit went first. Yeah, I think I watched the Hobbit series first, and then I watched The Lord of the Rings, I want to say. I think that's what I did. I don't know. I just preferred The Hobbit over The Lord of the Rings. I don't know why. I just did. It was also like 9 years ago, and it was my introduction to like fantasy movies and stuff before I ever watched Game of Thrones or anything like that. So, well, I guess Game of Thrones counts as fantasy, kind of. I guess it's not as fantasy as this because there's not like as much magic. But yeah, this is Fellowship of the Ring. Let me know which one out of the, I guess, 6 movies, because The Hobbit's 3 movies as well. Out of the 6 is your favorite, and tell me which one that is in the order, like whether it's the first, second, or third movie in the franchise, because I'm not going to know all the names. It's been forever since I watched them, but I really hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I look forward to watching the next video, which will be out next week, but until then, take care, and cue the music.
We were playing as soldiers, making swords.